So guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we've definitely got a little bit of controversy going on. There's going to be a couple of feathers being ruffled in today's video, but I'm telling you right now, this is probably going to be one of my most important videos on this particular channel, and I promise you, you will learn something from this video if you stick to the end, and there's going to be a very, very good point behind the reason why I'm making this video. Now, I can see that you see the title and you're probably thinking, Montel, what on earth is all this about? But I just want to break down why, like, most of the gurus you see online, like the dudes you see online, you know, talking about business, giving business advice, why is it that they themselves always seems to be the ones that are making the most money, yet the people, their followers, are never the ones that are making as much money as them? Now, there's a few gurus out there that obviously have helped people, and those people have gone on to do better than themselves. But the majority of these gurus are making a fuck ton of money, to be honest with you guys, to put it just bluntly with you guys. And I actually remember starting my journey, and I always used to think, like, what was different between me and these gurus? Like, how are they making all this money? What buttons are they pressing on their computer? Are they scamming people? Like, are they just genuinely these huge scam artists that are scamming people? And like, what are they genuinely doing different from like me and you? Like, what are they doing different? How are they doing all this shit? This used to plague me so much, and I used to just ask myself time and time again, like, how are these gurus making so much friggin' money? There's numbers out there that are eye-water, kind of like mind-boggling, should I say, where they're making like 200, 300, 500k a month, and I could never wrap my head around why these dudes are making so much money. So I want to break down like why the gurus seem to always win, and to be fair with you, it's not as nefarious as you think. So if you've come here expecting me to kind of like expose all of these dudes, by the way guys, have you ever noticed that all these expose videos that people do on each other are normally just for like clout and shit like that? I've actually noticed a few dudes, not even just in this industry but all over the industry, like all the dudes I've literally taken their programs, and I can testify that it's genuinely helped me, of being called scams. Pretty much every dude that I have a program that I've bought, and I can genuinely say that was a good program. People like Sam Ovens, like Iman Gaji and stuff like that. Just programs in general, all over the market that I've been in. Every single dude I've either looked up to, took business knowledge from, or took some sort of points from, how is it that every single one of them eventually gets called a scam? Like really sit down and think, can all of these dudes really be a scam? Not only that, but if they were really running scams, wouldn't their payment processor be shut down pretty much immediately from all the chargebacks? Think about it. If somebody's running scams and you're actually paying them via debit card, which most people are actually, using Stripe to take payments, if you get like 1 or 2 disputed payments within a month, Stripe straight away wants to shut down your friggin' account. So I'm thinking, like, are these dudes all scams? If they are scams, how are they getting around this Stripe thing? Like, like, how are they not getting disputes for their bank accounts? All you have to do when you get scammed by someone is call up your bank and raise a dispute, and you get your money back. So I'm thinking, like, okay, surely these guys are not scams. Anyway, guys, let's jump into this, because there's gonna be a big point to this video. So I just want to break down, guys, why the gurus always seem to be like the ones that are winning and making the most money in this online game. And what I've noticed, and it comes down to a few things. I've noticed that, number one, all these gurus pretty much start off by doing the same thing. And again, I don't use guru in this particular way to knock anybody or anything like that. I guess you could kind of call me a guru these days. If whatever floats your boat, to be honest with you, I don't really mind, because I'm actually genuinely changing lives and whatnot. We've got more proof to back that than ever at this moment in time. Like, try me, and I'll send you some screenshots or whatever you want, and you can go DM that person as well, by the way, and see if they're a real person. But long story short, I've always noticed that these gurus, right? I wouldn't say gurus, that these dudes online, they documented their journey, right? And they've been able to grow an audience because of that. I've also noticed that they also start with some sort of problem in their life. So I should actually put this in the first bit. So this is why these gurus make money, right? And the reason why I'm making this video, by the way, guys, is because I don't want you just to be listening to all these gurus. I want you to become your own guru yourself. Obviously, I'm talking about the legit ones. Obviously, there's people out there that are running their little scams or whatever it is, but I'm pretty sure those get shut down really quickly, to be honest with you guys, or you actually get exposed, to be fair. And when you do get exposed, it's detrimental. So I don't recommend ever doing that. But what I've noticed with these dudes, right, is that they always start with some sort of problem they had in their life. For example, they were either broke and they figured out some sort of business, or they were unhealthy and they figured out a way to become healthy, or they had some sort of addiction. They overcame that addiction. They were not in a place in their life that they wanted to, and they ended up solving a problem for that thing in their life, and then they sell that thing that helped them. For example, for me, it was that whole SMMA thing. The SMMA thing genuinely freed me, got me this apartment that I'm sitting in right now, and opened up more opportunities to me because I was able to learn sales, outreach, social media marketing, advertising, all these very valuable skills that you need if you're actually going to run any sort of internet business online in any way, shape, or form. So I've always noticed there's a few key things and kind of like things that separate all these dudes that allow them to become, you know, these crazy money making machines. And I'm breaking this video down for you to understand that these dudes are not special. They're not even different from any of us, and they're not even like, I wouldn't even say they're more hardworking than us. It's just that they've had the discipline to actually get off their ass and actually go and do something with their lives. And this is the thing as well. I've noticed that a lot of people call these dudes scams and whatnot. For example, like Sam Ovens. I can tell you right now, I went through his program. It changed my entire life. I would not be here without Sam Ovens. And I've even seen people call the same program that I've been through a scam. And I'm like, how can you possibly call that a scam? And I'm literally here closing clients, proof from Sam Ovens' shit, not endorsing Sam Ovens' program anymore. I don't even think he runs it anymore. But I'm like, yo, this program actually genuinely helped me. How is this dude do the scam? So what I've noticed is a lot of people call these online dudes a scam. Like, they instantly see a dude making money, talking about money online and making money business way, and your instant reaction is just to say scam straight away, which is actually technically good. It's a very good defense mechanism. However, I've also noticed that when you don't call them a scam, it forces you to get out of your comfort zone and actually look into what that person's doing to see if they're legit. And then when you find out they're legit and their story is just like yours, how they used to be broke and now they did something with their life, it makes you feel uncomfortable, because now it makes you it makes you realize that anybody can do what that person just did. So at the end of the day, it's easier just to call somebody a scam and move on with your day. That's what I've noticed genuinely from these dudes being called scams and whatnot. Anyway, what I've noticed is that the person always starts with a problem and then they find a solution to that problem. And whilst they're doing that, they're documenting their journey and they grow an audience, which then garners them attention. I've then seen that they put out goodwill in the form of valuable content online, such as like YouTube videos, Instagram posts where they've got like long captions, or even just short form content. And I've noticed that they actually genuinely give out, the best of the best dudes give out really good information that actually can change your life for completely free. And what normally happens is they start getting clients through the law of reciprocity, which basically states that, you know, if you put out enough good into the world, good will come back to you. So I've actually seen that this is not anything to do with being nefarious. And like I said, most people call these guys scams because it's just easier to call them a scam and keep moving with you, keep it moving with your day, to be honest with you. Then I've noticed that these gurus, because they've solved the problem themselves and they've come up with their own frameworks and whatnot, they ended up testing things like certain skill sets, certain things on themselves via self-studying, self-learning, and diving into self-help. And I'm telling you right now, you could probably go and look at anybody's channel right now that you look up to. Look at like Alex Hormozi in his first kind of like when Alex Hormozi was first getting started. Look at somebody like Alex Becker when he first getting started. Listen to their stories of when they were first broke and now they're at where they're at. If they've got any, which by the way, they all will have stories like that on their channels. If they don't, they do, put it that way. Look at everybody. Like, look at Iman Gaji, look back at my channel. There's always something of like, the dude's gone through something traumatic, or they're not in a place in their life where they want to be. They then start learning and diving into like self-help, learning, taking courses, studying, learning skills, immersing themselves in this online business world, or just online, just learning skills in general. They become, they start improving their lives. Those lives then turn into their own concepts and their own way of doing things. Like I said here, they then have developed their own flair and flavor of doing things. So, for example, like me, I was broke, started learning SMMA, but I learned SMMA from a different perspective. I started learning SMMA in the way how I started leveraging Upwork, and then took the Upwork money and started leveraging what you call virtual assistants or first line writers. Nobody was really talking about first line writers before me. I mean, people were talking about appointment setters, but not first line writers. That was like a term that I actually created myself. So I've noticed that you end up along the way solving your own problems, and then you start developing your own flair for doing that thing. So you solve your own problem in a way using other people's information and whatnot. But then you start taking information from all these different places, putting them together, combining them, and you develop your own flavor or way of doing things. I like to call this your own unique mechanism. The funny thing is, I've got here on the board, on the actual whiteboard here, as a little document thing. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have watched Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. If you guys have watched Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, right? I think it's Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. The one with the book that Harry Potter finds in the in the, I don't even know, the cabinet thing, and it's got the recipe to actually craft the spell. I forgot what the potion is. I think it's like a death or something, liquid death or whatever it's called, the potion liquid death. And the winner of, you know, whoever can brew this potion perfectly gets the what's it called, the little luck thing, the liquid luck, however it's called. Anyway, long story short, I've noticed that like in that, it kind of reminds me of this entire thing, because Snape is the Half-Blood Prince. If you haven't watched this, then you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. But long story short, in the Harry Potter thing, there's like a book that Harry Potter finds. In the book, it's a recipe for creating this certain potion, but it's got like things etched out, and like the recipe's kind of altered a bit. So that's kind of like what developing your own flair is. You know, if you think about what's actually happened, Snape has come across this book in his school, in his potions class. Obviously, it's a fake example, but you guys get the point. He's read the book, came across this recipe to craft or to brew a certain potion. Then he's tried that over and over again, but it didn't work for him. So that's almost like taking somebody's course, implementing the step-by-step recipe in that course, not getting the result that you wanted, and then going back to the course and then doing things a slightly different way to see if you get a different result, and then writing down the way how you did it. And now that book's been passed on to Harry, which then in turn got him the end result, which then allowed him to win the actual the little liquid luck potion thing that he takes. So I've noticed that that's exactly what building a business like, or building a one person business is like. And what these gurus are actually doing, they're going through all these dudes' programs, figuring out and learning skill through trial and error, figuring out their own recipe for doing that thing, putting their own flair on it, and then selling it back. I've also noticed that what they do with their content is they build a bunch of credibility, a bunch of kind of like their reputation up as well via content. And that content provides multiple touch points. You know, there's people on that are probably watching this video right now that have probably watched maybe even 30, 40, 50 videos of mine. Those videos that they're watching, every single time they watch them, they're getting to know me, they're hearing my life experiences, they're listening to my story, they're listening to my tips, my strategies, the things that I've done, the things that I haven't tried, the things that have worked for me, the things that haven't worked for me. And all that's doing is building up that credibility, building that reputation, that reputation, and it's also building up my goodwill and showing you guys that this are the things that do work, these are the things that don't work. I don't recommend doing these things, but I do recommend doing these things. So all in all, what I'm doing is I'm putting out goodwill, providing a lot of content, providing a lot of value, and that's actually creating a lot of credibility and my reputation is being built up. But at the same time, I'm also hitting you guys with different touch points. So for example, you might follow me on Instagram as well, and you might start seeing my stories daily or some of my content. So that's already, let's say you watch like 10 YouTube videos of mine, then you decide to follow me on Instagram, and then you start following me for like 30 days. Every single day I'm posting maybe one or two times on my actual Instagram story about business tips, tricks. If you haven't followed me, by the way, quick plug, my Instagram is @montel.gordon. I definitely recommend you follow me because I do give out free tips and whatnot on my Instagram. I also have a free Discord if you want to join that as well. Link will be below. But long story short, every single piece of content you see of me reminds you of me, my story, my brand, and how I'm doing certain things and having a certain transformation in my life. And that all builds up what you call touch points. And in sales, you need anywhere between 50 and 70 touch points before a prospect even gets in the buying stage. That basically means you need to reach out to somebody 50 to 70 times. If you're, for example, if you're running a social media marketing agency right now, and you're doing like a 5-step sequence email kind of like sequence. For example, you're reaching out to e-commerce brands to sell Facebook ads, and you're reaching out to them via email, and you're sending them you're sending prospects one email. If they don't reply, you then send them another email after like 3 days. If they don't reply to that second email, 4 days later, they get a third email, and then they get, up to 5 emails is what I'm trying to say. You see, that's not enough touch points. What the gurus have figured out is that there's more touch points that needs to go on. And through content, we can build up these touch points. Exactly what I'm doing right now, I'm building up touch points. So then what ends up happening is these dudes' names start to become a brand. It actually starts to becoming their brand, their own brand. Their name becomes their brand, and thus they're able to stand out because they put their own unique flavor on everything they do. For example, Iman Gaji has a different style of SMMA to the way how I used to do SMMA. How we both used to do SMMA, so we're both not in that industry no more. But we both got our own unique way of doing SMMA. along with like Alex Becker. I remember back in the day watching Alex Becker's videos on like just e-commerce in general, like learning e-commerce, dropshipping, that sort of stuff. And he had his own flavor. Not only did he have his own flavor, but because Alex Becker is Alex Becker, I really resonated with the way how he used to teach, how he used to speak. I liked his personality. I still do, by the way. I still watch his videos. Shout out to Alex Becker if he's ever watching this. I doubt it. This guy's a huge dude at this point. I think he just sold a company for like 100 million. See the power of this one person business stuff that I keep talking about on my channel. Absolutely insane. But as you can see, what they do is they're able to stand out, position themselves uniquely in the market by just being themselves, because they are their own niche and they're able to stand out. So this is why these guys are making all this money, guys. There's no, and this is the thing, I'm making this video to make you understand that like there's nothing nefarious about this, nothing special about this neither, and there's nothing you can't do right here, right now, that these dudes are doing. Now, granted, it obviously takes a long time and a lot of experience and a lot of thingy to build this out, but look back on everybody's channels. Everybody started off being inexperienced, broke. Pretty much everybody was broke, not in a position they wanted to be in, had bad, addictions, bad routines, bad discipline, bad everything. But they still picked up a camera and spent years building an audience. And that's the next point. These dudes have spent years building up an audience, whilst most of you guys watching this, if you don't have a brand right now, a personal brand, whilst most of you guys have shied away from the camera because you were taught, you thought you weren't expert enough, and that you were scared of being judged by your family. There's no two ways about it. It's 2 + 2 = 4 to me. It's very, very logical when you think about it. These dudes have picked up a camera, indulged and really just immersed themselves into self-development, solved the problem for themselves, come up with their own frameworks, and then sold those frameworks back to people once they themselves got results using those frameworks. There's nothing nefarious about that whatsoever. That's almost like me learning how to speed read, for example, and then teaching other people how to speed read if they want to learn how to read, how to speed read. That's just a really random example, by the way, guys. But yes, these guys have spent years building an audience, whilst most of you guys watching this, like I said, have shied away from the camera because you thought you weren't expert enough, / you were scared of being judged by family and friends. This is the most stupid excuse I've ever heard. So I need you guys to, relinquish this from your brain immediately. Now, I've also figured out that it's not about these dudes being smart as well. I've actually been, having conversations with some of these dudes that are making these crazy amounts of money, guys. I've had the conversation. I've been in their programs, and I'm telling you right now, it sounds weird, but they're not actually that much more smarter than all of us. Like even me, like I'm dyslexic, don't have any degrees, anything like that. Yeah, I've made over 900K online, guys. Quite literally. By the age of 27, I will literally be a millionaire before the age of 30. Probably even this time, maybe in the next 6 months, I'll actually have $1 million, dollars in the actual bank. Quite literally cash. Straight cash, guys. And that's before the age of like 29, 28. Quite literally, with 0 degrees, never worked a job in my life, not smarter than you guys. You guys have probably got more life experience than me. It's insane. Now, my question to you, right, is this. This is the reason why I'm making this video, by the way. This was a long way of putting this. But you guys know me. I always make long-winded videos. I hope you guys can see the point, though. So my question to you is, right, is this. You see, if these gurus, all these gurus, if they all started off broke, skillless, inexperienced, or even working jobs, day jobs that they basically hated, and now you see them living the life that you want simply due to them diving into, self-help and actually solving their own problems and getting shit done for themselves, like, why can't you do that? Like, what's stopping you from doing that right now? I know you're probably going to be like, oh, I don't have the time, I don't have the skills, I don't have the expertise, but I've just broke this down for you. Like all of the dudes you probably see, I would say like 99.9% of the dudes you see. In fact, all of the dudes you see, because nobody's really born rich unless you inherit. So most millionaires, by the way, they don't make their money from inheritance. Most millionaires are what you call first generation millionaires. They become their millionaires themselves. Self-made millionaires is what I would say. There's not really a thing as self-made millionaires because everybody takes concepts from other people and you learn from mentors and other people and whatnot. But what I'm trying to say is that all the gurus you look up to, all the people you think are making all these crazy amounts of money, they're not special. They all started where you were. They were all broke at one point. They were all skillless at one point. They were all inexperienced at one point. They all didn't have case studies when they first started. They all probably were working some sort of job they didn't like, or or in college they didn't like, or in university they didn't like me. And now you see them living the life that you want, simply because they themselves decided to solve their own problems, get up off their ass, solve their own problems by learning skills and then putting their own flavor on those skills and then selling those skills back. So my question to you is, why can't you do that? Like, what's genuinely stopping you from doing that? Don't say it's because you're scared of your family, like, watching your YouTube videos or something stupid like that. Or don't say it's because you're inexperienced. We were all inexperienced. All these dudes, you can include me in the guru category if you want to, if it makes you sleep better now, it helps me get my point across. We all started off as inexperienced, broke dudes. There was times where I had to literally borrow money off of my little brother to get a fucking haircut, guys. A literal haircut. I am not joking, guys. So my point again is that what I've also noticed is, like I said earlier as well, is that every time I've seen a dude call one of these gurus a scam, and this is the thing, the only reason why I'm so passionate about this one is because I'll literally be there sat watching a Sam Ovens video or something like just watching a Sam Ovens whatever video. And again, like, Sam Ovens is a really good entrepreneur and whatnot. Not sucking up to Sam Ovens or sucking his ass or anything like that. But I'm genuinely saying that I've been through his program. It's genuinely good. It's changed my entire life. Sam Ovens probably doesn't even know who I am. Never spoke to Sam Ovens before in my entire life. Yet I'm seeing people call him a scam and stuff like that. But then I really sat down and thought about, why would somebody call Sam Ovens a scam when I'm literally in the same program as that person, and I've been able to get results from his program, and they obviously sound like they haven't. And I've noticed that it's all about self-responsibility and accountability. I've noticed that when people call gurus a scam, it's a way of that person that's calling the guru a scam to basically save their own face. Because what I've seen is, as soon as you start admitting that these gurus that you look up to aren't special, and that they're only where they are in their life because they took actions that you can take through good decisions, I've noticed that forces you to come out of your comfort zone, and you start realizing that, oh shit, I probably should be doing better with my life, which then in turn makes you feel guilty for not doing better in your life, and it makes you reassess your life decisions and kind of gives you a kick up the ass. So technically, it actually is, like I said, it's easier just to call a guru online that you see talking about money a scam, stay in your comfort zone, and just keep it moving. It's easier to do that. It's so much easier to do that, in fact. Because then you don't have to reassess your entire life and your life decisions. You can just go about blissfully being ignorant, quite literally. So much easier to just call me a scam, for example. Let's say someone comes across my channel, never seen a video before in my life, and I'm claiming I've made like 900k overnight, which I've documented and all that crazy shit. If you follow me on Instagram, scroll through my Instagram, you'll literally see all the screenshot proof. I even show bank statements, all that crazy stuff. But long story short, it's just so much easier for a random person to come across my content to call me a scam and keep it moving. The reason for that is because if they at least have to listen to what I have to say, and I can prove it and back it up with points, which I always do, then you can start looking into my story. You start seeing like, hey, shit, this Montel dude was literally a broke kid from Sheffield, literally born into council houses, and he's made certain decisions that have brought him to the place he's at now. And these aren't even crazy decisions or even skills that he's learned. These are skills anybody can pick up with the internet if they genuinely wanted to. So now it makes you feel guilty and reassess your life, because like, you should be where I'm at. If you're above me, then obviously I should be watching your videos. But long story short, you get a point I'm trying to make. It makes you reassess your life, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. It's almost like a projection thing. You start projecting your inner thoughts outwards. So it's just easier to just literally call the person a scam, stay in your comfort zone, and completely just move on. Now, again, I want you to think about the word expert as well, because these gurus are not experts, guys. These gurus are not experts. And I just got a little thing to just end this video with, just to give you guys food for thought, guys. I know it's been a weird video of mine. I know it's probably going to be like a real controversial video. I just want you to, I want to break this down, because like, these dudes are not anything different to you guys. You can do this stuff. You can build a one-person business. You can learn skills, figure out and solve a problem in your life right now. Could be quitting smoking, could be overcoming video game addiction, could be overcoming like a, haram, if you watch those haram videos online, the 18 plus old videos online, and you're addicted to those. If you've overcome that addiction, if it could be something as simple as getting your mind right for work. It could be simple as improving your grades in school. It could be something as simple as helping other people land a certain job in a certain area. For example, if you've done that before. Could be all sorts. It could be learning how to, if you're skinny, you put on like decent muscle. Could be all sorts, guys. But what I'm trying to say is that you guys have transformations that you can actually give back to people. Once you've learned that skill, you can then sell that skill back to people. And again, I just want you to remember, I want to remind you guys. I know that you're probably all screaming, but I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert. But I just want you guys to remember this. The so-called experts back in the day used to literally recommend cigarette brands to pregnant women to help with their pregnancy pains. I am not even joking. If you actually Google it, from the 1930s to the 1950s, that's 20 years, patients were prescribed cigarettes by doctors. Do you know how crazy that is? This is how crazy the world is, guys. This is how crazy. Who made these doctors experts? And like, who gave them permission to be prescribing literal cigarettes, cancer sticks to other patients? You see what I mean? This is. I think everything's got a bit convoluted. I think the word is, and it's crazy, guys. There's probably things that these experts are recommending right now that's off. So what I'm trying to say is, even the experts can be wrong. Stop this expert thing, guys. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit of a rant. I just want to break down why these gurus win, because myself, I couldn't get my head around it, and it's because of this. They found a problem in their own life, solved the problem, come up with their own frameworks, and then sold those frameworks to people, whilst documenting their journey, building up goodwill, authenticity, and credibility, which in turn allowed them to turn their name into a six-figure brand, whilst you shied away from picking up a camera and shied away from getting into self-development because you just thought everything was a scam. It's crazy, guys. Crazy world we live in. Anyway, if you guys are wanting any of my help or anything like that, or if you just got any questions, you know what? Just drop me a DM. Just drop me a DM on IG. Quick plug, my IG is at montel.gordon. It's the only one with the verified blue tick. There actually are some accounts that are trying to copy me and whatnot, so don't fall for those. It's the only one with the blue tick. I only have one Instagram account. Or if you want to book a call with me one-to-one to see if I can help you start what I like to call a one-person business and turn your name into a six-figure brand, then book in a call below, and then what we'll do is just have a simple conversation. It won't be pushy or anything like that. You guys can tell I'm very laid back. It's just a simple conversation to see if this is genuinely even a good fit for you, what skills you'll need if you're not an expert, if you even need to be an expert, which you don't, by the way, spoiler alert, and just overall genuinely see if this is a good business model you could go down, because this is a business model I genuinely think that's going to change people's lives, 1 year down the line, 2 years, 5 years, 20 years down the line, guys. I'm always going to have some sort of personal brand, one-person business going on, and I think you guys should too. Anyway, link is below for that if you want to book in a call. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.